and welcome. Would you please state your name and profession?
Hi, Victoria. Thank you very much for the invitation. My name is Ioannis Lianos. I'm the president of the Hellenic Competition Commission and professor of global competition law and policy at UCL in London.
And why did you specialize in competition law?
Well, that's a really interesting question. I think it was a very interesting area of research. Originally, I was mostly interested in doing my PhD on history of law. But actually, I was quite intrigued by competition law. I had an excellent professor during my master degree, and I was quite intrigued by the interaction between economic thinking and the law, basically, the legal system. And that showed some openness in terms of different fields and also the social implications of competition, obviously for consumers, but also more generally the quality of our democracy and the quality of our system, of our capitalist system. So therefore, I think it's attracting my attention quite easily.
So now we all hope to be that professor for the next generation, right?
No, I mean, I think it's a topic that is, presenting interesting challenges. So now there's a technology angle, which I think is more prominent. At the time where when I was specializing, it was the late 1990s. So you had the internet, you had all these discussions at the time about the dynamic competition. I think now with data science, with obviously AI, machine learning, etc., I think these are very interesting issues, and the technology angle I think will make the topic even more appealing for future academics in the field.
So as somebody who went from being an academic to being an academic who now also heads a national competition authority, what aspect of competition enforcement did you actually find most surprising?
I mean, it's an interesting question. Obviously, you teach a topic, you try to delve into any specific issues of substance that could be of relevance. And of course, sometimes you don't look too carefully on procedure. And by that, I don't mean just procedural rules, but I mean also the procedure of adopting decisions in an authority, which is actually a very complex process because you have different disciplines. So you have lawyers, economists, now data scientists. So they have different kind of loyalties in a way. I mean, they have the loyalty there to their science, but they also have a loyalty to the authority, to their mission. So it's interesting to attend to these discussions. And we have now on the Greek authority the last few years mixed teams, so formed by economists and lawyers. The different directorates. Secondly, I mean, decisions are made at the board, so you have to interact with other colleagues, but also more generally, even at each level of the authority, there's a lot of discussion, there's a lot of debate, sometimes very harsh debate, because of different views and people think very strongly about them. It's great. So this is a process of decision making that is very complex, and people don't realize, that when they don't have the experience of heading or working at the competition authority. So that was a surprising element in terms of like how decision making is done in this context.
So turning to smart farming, which we're going to discuss today in a couple of minutes, we've seen in digital platforms competition law still trying to catch up with market realities. Do you see the same danger in smart farming, or is competition law perhaps better prepared now because all the experience we've gathered with digital markets?
I mean, smart farming, I think, came as an issue already a few years ago with the agrochem merger wave. And even before that, and I will probably say a few words about it, when Monsanto actually tried to get a climate corporation in the US. So these were issues that have been already discussed at that time. So we're talking about 2015, 2016. So a little bit at the same time where we started discussing about the digital markets and how there might be, different issues relating to digital markets compared to traditional markets. So I think, the two debates happen at the same time. And of course, the experience that we have now about digital ecosystems it's something that could be of relevance also for agrochem ecosystems. Actually, I mean, in my own work, I basically use the concept of ecosystem and platform economics in my work concerning the agrochem sector before moving to use the same type of concept with my co-author Michael Yakubidis in the context of digital ecosystems. Actually, that's why I guess also the Commission puts under brackets the word digital in their new draft Commission market definition notice, where talking about ecosystems, basically recognizing that, you know, ecosystem might not only be in the digital sector, but actually more broadly. And I think the agrochem sector is an example of that ecosystemic competition moving forward.
So please answer with yes or no. Does smart farming require special antitrust legislation, or like perhaps similar to the DMA?
But can I say an answer maybe, because it's not entirely clear. I'm sorry, I break the rules. I mean, I think that already we have a special antitrust law, you know, in the agricultural sector. I mean, that's something that we already have, in the sense that we have the CMO regulation, we have provisions in the treaty that sets agriculture apart in terms of competition enforcement as well. So there's a special, basically, competition law for agriculture. Now, if your question is about smart farming, I think, you know, as with other issues relating to platform competition, I mean, there might be sometimes not sufficient effect having competition enforced. And for some issues, and I will discuss one of them, which is the right to repair, for instance, you know, we need to have some form of regulation occurring, which will be complementary to the competition law enforcement.
So thank you so much, Ioannis. We're looking forward to talking to you in a minute.
Looking forward as well.